All right, before that, this session, do you have any questions? Your clarification about your experience, doubts about your experience. Let's finish that.
Even from that experience?
Yes. You will continue to unclutch, but if you have any experience.
I had a bad experience. So
That's what. It's okay, you can tell that. If you don't want to tell, it's okay.
No, I can. I felt very bored in my mother's womb, like incredibly bored, just like this is the most boring thing. Then suddenly I had this shock that I was being carried by a dead person. And then that was such a shock, I couldn't, it was just terrible.
That is a big mistake, ma. You are seeing the past death. You understand what I am saying? So that's why I gave a clear instruction. Do you remember that any weird, anything comes up, allow it.
Yeah. No, I sat with that feeling, but it was just such a terrible shock. Now afterwards, then I have to say,
Give the mic.
I had a lot of pain. And then I started inside screaming for you to help me. Then suddenly I had a vision of you putting your hand on my mother's womb, sending energy through to me, and then suddenly I wasn't bored, everything was lovely. But when I woke up, I had that feeling of this deadness. I mean, I didn't have the feeling, I didn't like the idea of that. So then I thought,
You have to go through, you have to clear it.
Well, you said stay with awareness with it, and so I thought, okay, do I have to stay with it or unclutch?
All. Now you'll unclutch, no problem. But do not dislike when you go through the experiences. When you go through, have the pleasant mood to go through, then unclutch. You cannot, if you understand an important key, important click, you cannot unclutch through hatred. You cannot unclutch from anything through hatred. If you hate that experience, you can't unclutch. Just have a pleasant feeling. Approach it with a deep pleasantness. Only then you can unclutch. Unclutching is easy when you have a pleasant feeling towards something. Not through hatred. Through hatred, even if you unclutch, it will be only suppression. It will come back. I think you had a solid experience. It's a very, what I wanted. If you would have allowed, if you had a loving feeling with your death, that you being carried as a body, you would have crashed one more. You would have crashed a little more into the past janma. The regression would have started happening.
சுவாமிஜி அம்மாவால் நடக்க முடியாத கண்டிஷனில் இருக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபீலிங் எனக்கு இருக்கு. அடுத்த ஒரு 2-3 வினாடிக்கெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அது கண்ணுக்குட்டியா நாய்க்குட்டியான்னு தெரியலங்க. அது இறந்துருக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபீலிங்கு. அடுத்த வினாடி ரைட் லெக்லேருந்து அப்படியே கரண்ட் பாஸ் ஆன மாதிரி அப்படியே ஃபுல்லாக வைப்ரேஷனாக இருந்தது. மறுபடியும் ஒரு 5 செகண்ட்ல மறுபடியும் செகண்ட் டைம் அந்த வைப்ரேஷன் வந்தது.
அப்போ கண்ணுக்குட்டி ஜனமாக இருந்திருக்கீங்க.
அதுக்கு அடுத்து ஒரு
நல்லா தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க, இதெல்லாம் போலித்தனமான ஒரு விஷயம் மட்டும் நினைக்காதீங்க. ஸ்ட்ராங்கான விஷயம். ஏன்னா இப்போ நான் உங்களை எடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டு டெக்னாலஜி ஸ்ட்ராங்கான தெளிவான டெக்னாலஜி. அதனால இப்ப நடக்கிற விஷயங்களும் விஷன்ஸும் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸஸும் ஸ்ட்ராங்கான சத்தியமானவை. இதுவும் இது அது இந்த மாதிரி சூஸ் பண்ற மனம் வேணான்னு விட்டாதான் தீர்வு. இப்ப நீங்க சன்னியாசம் சூஸ் பண்றதா தீர்வு கிடையாது. இந்த சூஸ் பண்ற மனத்தை விடுறதான் தீர்வு. அதான் ஜீவன் முக்தி, அதான் நித்திய முக்த ஸ்வபாவம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றது.
Okay, the first time when you asked me to go into the mother's womb, the feeling that I had, that like how the kundalini is awakened, that kind of an intense energy vibrations, it just came out and literally came out as a raiga from my body. Following that, I had a vision that I was in a monastery, lot of thousands of monks are around, and I'm one among them. But then my expression is in a very dejected fashion. I'm trying to say, neither did I live my life, nor am I enlightened. What am I living for? That was one phase. And the second phase, I had another vision where people are throwing and hitting me with logs and pebbles. And I'm trying to lift my head up and trying to see somebody. And then as it passed on, whom I was trying to see was Jesus. And I could not see, I was only cramped and crushed by people around.
Understand, these visions and experiences are not fantasies. You are going through a proper technology, inner science. So these visions have a strong meaning. she would have lived a monastic life in the last Janma. She wouldn't have felt complete or fulfilled. That's why this time she took the Grihastha household life. Now again she wants sannyas. She wants the sannyas life. Because now she feels that also is useless. Till she drops the choosing mind, she has to choose. The real Jivan Mukti or Nitya Mukti is dropping the choosing mind. Not dropping sannyas or not dropping the household life. Dropping the mind which chooses. That is the Nitya Mukta Swabhava. Wonderful. If you know our background, you will understand very clearly, you can catch. It's a solid experience. உங்களுக்கு புரியுதலமா? கரெக்டா மேட்ச் ஆகுதுல? The zigzag puzzle மேட்ச் ஆகுதுங்க.
Swami.
இதான் regulations. இதெல்லாம் தான் regulations. இப்போ இதுக்கு மேல இந்த ஐடியாஸை நீங்க நம்ப வேண்டியதில்லை. அது அப்படியே உங்களுடைய பார்ட்டா மாறும். What I am telling her, she doesn't have to believe all these ideas anymore. It has become part of her. It's now part of her being. This is what I call revelations. Memories related to the past life will open. You see, here the most of the process is done by me directly. I am just preparing you to give you a few glimpses of your past life, so that you will have tremendous intelligence about your future. You will have a strong guidance, revelations to live your future. Once I saw one of the, before enlightenment, in the young age, one of my friends took me to a yogi. And that yogi was very proud and great about his achievements. He asked me, do you need to learn anything from me? Learn, ask, I'll teach you. I asked very humbly, now I can sit continuously for 14 hours. Can you give me some technique to sit more than 14 hours? He had the shock of his life. He said, I can sit only for 4 hours, you please go. Just now, we were discussing with one of my old colleague, when I was wandering, who was with me, has come. He was telling me, he only took me to that yogi. Or his friend, he took me to that yogi. And that yogi had the shock. When I said that I can sit only for 14 hours, can you teach me to sit for more time? See, that strength or that intensity is required for the strong achievements. But you guys are actually, what you are doing now, that itself is too much. If you compare with your old life and now, for last 4 days you are just sitting. It's a great thing. So I can't expect more than that. That's why I am giving break. Okay. இல்லைங்க, சூஸ் பண்ணாமல் இருந்தீங்கன்னா தான் வாழவே சாத்தியமாகுங்க. உங்களுக்கு புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. சூஸ் பண்ணாமல் ஒரு 20 நாள் இருங்க, புரிஞ்சு போயிடும். இல்லை, டெசிஷன் நீங்கள் எடுக்க வேண்டியது உள்ளுள்ள வந்துடும், ஸ்ட்ராங்காக வரும். ரெசிஸ்ட் பண்ண முடியாத அளவுக்கு ஸ்ட்ராங்காக டெசிஷன்ஸ் வரும். நல்லது. எஸ். If you hear the NSP discourses, have you done NSP? NSP I will be explaining. You will have the acute pain when you take birth. In that pain only you forget the past memories. Practically you go into coma and come out. So in that coma stage you forget the past life.
And the second time I had pain only in my waist and the right hand because of my skin.
Wonderful. You are releasing that pain. If that pain is released from the body, I tell you, I don't have anything called pain in my body. It's because that primal pain is released from the system. If the primal pain is released from the system, there won't be any pain in your body. It may look too big promise, but I tell you, I am living. I can assure it's possible for you. I don't know what medically they will say and understand and all those things. As far as my experience goes, the first pain which you experience is the delivery pain. If you relieve that pain and release it from your memory system, from your body, you will not have any pain. எங்க இருக்கீங்க? ஓகே. நல்லதாச்சு, தப்பு இல்லை. பேலன்ஸ் ஆகிக்குது. உடம்பு இயற்கையாகவே ஒரு மெல்லிய நடுக்கத்திலேயே தாங்க இருக்கும். நம்ம ஈகோவில் தான் அதை பிடிச்சி ஸ்ட்ராங்காக கண்ட்ரோலில் வைப்போம். அந்த ஈகோ தளரும் போது அந்த நடுக்கம் திரும்ப ஆரம்பிக்கும். அது நடந்து க்ளீன் ஆகட்டும், அதுக்கப்புறம் நடுக்கத்தை தாண்டின ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரென்த்துக்கு வந்துடுவீங்க. I want all of you to know, only today we are entering into Sanjita. Till now what was happening, everything was Agamya and Prarabdha. Only if you go through this past life regression, only then you can enter into Sanjita. Till now we were playing only with Prarabdha and Agamya. அப்படின்னா கல் ஜென்மமாக இருந்திருக்க மாட்டீங்க, டிப்ரெஸ்டாக இருந்திருப்பீங்க போன ஜென்மத்தில். கல் ஜென்மமாக இருந்து நேராக மனுஷன் ஆக முடியாது. ஆனால் டிப்ரெஸ்டாக இருந்தால் இந்த மாதிரி ஆகும், இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். போன ஜென்மம் ஃபுல்லாக டிப்ரெஷன்லேயே இருந்திருப்பீங்க. அதான் ரிலீஸ் ஆகும், ஒன்றும் கவலைப்படாதீங்க, விடுங்க. That tunnel is described in NDE website. I want all of you to see NDE. There is a website called NDE, Near Death Experience. Some 30,000 people's near death experience is described in that. Invariably, all 30,000 speak about death as it is described in Upanishads. Nalla புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. In that they speak about this tunnel. Means you had a long gap between last Janma and this Janma. Good.
Very happy.
That's okay. Yes. If you had the long gap between last Janma and this Janma you will become enlightened. You waited and took birth. Actually, I know you have a long, strong seeking. That's because of that only. There's every possibility. Don't miss. This time. You might have been the man. That man must be your Janma. You might have been the man. Usually people take the other sex only. Every time they change. Huh? Oh, Rudra. Name also. God. That's great. That's a very strong. See, the 2-3 days of unclutching, your being has become very sharp for higher experiences. That's why today it started. This regression. Good guru. Many of you are able to travel into that zone. Let's complete. Let's spend some more time into the meditation. Then I will sit with you. I will talk to every individual and ask your experiences and tell you the meaning. Or some more, I will clarify the doubts. Let's start. If I give a too big break, you may come out of that mood. You may come out of that space. Please relax. Close your eyes. Start from the age 5. This time I will give a little more detailed instruction. Start at 5 and start going back. Go back slowly, steadily, and reach your mother's womb. After that, do not imagine anything. Just be in your mother's womb. Any revelation or visions can happen, but you don't imagine. You will travel only up to mother's womb. Be in your mother's womb. மெதுவாக 5 வயதிலிருந்து பின்னோக்கி சென்று தாயின் கர்ப்பத்திற்குள் இருக்கும் நிலை வரை அடையவும். நீங்களாக எந்த கற்பனையும் செய்யாதீர்கள். எந்த தரிசனத்தையும் காட்சியையும் காண முயற்சிக்காதீர்கள். தானாகவே அவைகள் நடந்தால் அனுமதிக்கலாம். உங்கள் தாயின் கர்ப்பத்தை வரை மட்டும்தான் நீங்களாக பாவனை செய்ய வேண்டும். அதற்கு பிறகு தானாக என்ன எழுகிறதோ அதை மட்டும் நடக்க அனுமதியுங்கள்.